Okay, so what happened to my numbers when I started posting once a week on Page Turner? I will show you how it went. On January 24th, I published a video called I Tried Posting Videos a Lot More Often. But what I didn't say is that was the day I quietly switched to posting less. And not only did my views not tank, I also managed to launch a whole new channel. Here's how that worked and why I think more creators should consider doing the same. Okay, when I published that video, my current posting schedule was on two different channels. The first is this channel, the Page Turner channel. I was posting twice a week with an episode on Tuesday and one on Friday. On my other channel, Our Moving Castle, an RV travel channel, I was posting once a week on Thursday. I've only within the last month gone to posting every other week on Our Moving Castle. And around the same time, I started a third channel, Nerdonomic, where I do quirky money takes. As far as scaling Our Moving Castle back to every other week, part of that was the fact that travel's very seasonal, and I recently bought a house in fall of 2024. Incidentally, I just did an episode on Nerdonomic about the house. Why we bought a big house, why we left it mostly empty. We made some quirky decisions that have worked out very well for us, which I will link if you want to check that out as well. But suffice to say that going from full-time RV life where we were nomads for a couple years and we lived on the road to being in a house and having the RV for trips, it's a different ball of wax. It's a different cycle. And these days I'm doing less travel content because we're not traveling as much and I'm more doing journalism in the RV space. Less I'm out there on the road every day in different locations, reviewing RV parks and seeing the sights. I'm in a house right now. And a big part of that too is that for those of you who haven't watched Our Moving Castle, I have a co-host over there, my husband, Justin. Now, Justin is an introvert. He can be kind of camera shy in the best of times. I do all the editing and all that for the channels, but Justin's been very burnt out between work, the house purchase, and his natural camera shyness. So I've been having to manage the channel a lot by myself, and it's just not as compelling without my co-host. And I was finding that I was forcing content. I was putting things out just to put things out rather than putting out community reports or things that I was interested in the news for RVs. And so I found that I could reliably do those every other week, where, every week was a lot to ask. And at the same time, I was thinking a lot more about money because I just bought the house and my financial situation changed again because of a large purchase, plus all the economic instability in the world right now.
Well, that's putting it mildly.
It seemed like something that I was thinking a lot and learning a lot about, so figured I would post about it. And with the Page Turner channel, I wanted to do more thoughtful takes rather than just kind of cruising to do 2 videos a week and come heck or high water. I wanted to do some more interesting takes, do some experiments. I've also been in the process of setting up my home studio here for videos, which is awesome, but I'm still getting set up and everything after shooting for 2 years on the road full-time in an RV. To get the full picture of what happened and what kind of caused me to do this experiment, I recommend that you watch, after this one, my video about what happened when I tried posting a lot more often. Suffice to say, it did not have the impact on growth that you would hope. The long and short of it is you can see when you do the video the actual why and how and what happened, but it had diminishing returns. Posting a lot more often did not grow my channel a lot more often. It was actually really surprising. It seemed like YouTube actually penalized me a little, if you want to see that, despite my ABD and my CTR holding stable. So it kind of occurred to me, my business has been really busy. I would love to start this new channel, Nerdonomic. Could I cut back to once a week and continue to have a pretty stable channel growth without penalizing myself? If doing a lot more is not really helping me, will doing a bit less hurt me? I thought it would be a good experiment to share with you guys and show you at the same time that I was working on Nerdonomic, which is a passion project. Okay, so what happened to my numbers when I started posting once a week on Page Turner? It's now been 90 days, so I have a nice clean shot. I will show you the actual 90-day comparison. This is pretty cool actually, because in the analytics, what I did was I went to my 90-day stats, and when you do that, it will actually compare it at a glance to the previous 90 days. So I had 2 good snapshots. So before I show you this, let's talk about what we would expect. If all things were equal, since I cut the posting in half by 50%, all of my stats would be 50%. less than the other 90-day window, okay? So 50% is the break-even point. If something goes down more than 50%, this really hurt me in that area. If something goes down 50% exactly, that's what you would expect. If it goes down less than 50%, it actually didn't hurt me that much. So I will show you how it went. Okay, so this is my 90-day top level summary for the Page Turner YouTube channel. As you can see, over the past 90 days, I got 19,169 views. Okay, and looking at the tab here, that is indeed 19% less than the previous 90 days. But as we were just saying, you would expect it to be 50% less if all things were equal. So it did hurt me a little on my view count, but not nearly as much as you would think. That means that the videos were actually kind of performing a little better per video since there were less of them. Let's look at watch time. It looks like I got about 1,200 watch hours over the past 3 months. That actually hurt me a little bit more. If you look, I'm down 32% as opposed to the 90-day window beforehand. Again, though, it's still not as bad as a 50% reduction. Now, this is the category where it hurt me the most. Subscribers. 43% less than the previous 90 days, my 194 subscribers. So I'm picking up subscribers a lot more slowly. That's actually pretty close to the 50% mark. I will note that none of these met or exceeded the 50% mark. So it's hurting me some, but not as much as you would expect if all things were equal. So clearly, all things aren't equal. So if you take all these stats and you kind of average them together, in other words, I posted 50% less, but I only lost 20 to 30% on the dashboard. That's extremely survivable, especially when you consider what I got in return. So let's talk about that real quick. What did I get from this experiment? Well, the first big thing is that I managed to get going and launch Nerdonomic. And not only have I launched it, but I'm starting to get real traction on there. Personal finance is an extremely competitive subject matter area, and I have had multiple videos that have gained traction. I have multiple episodes that have over 2,000 views and a lot that are pulling above their weight. And I can see on the back end things spinning out. As of this video, I have 179 subscribers over there. For me, I am thrilled. Like I said, personal finance is a very competitive space. The attention economy has been really rough in Q1 2025 because the political and economic instability in the US has made it so people are either not online or they're looking at the news, doom scrolling. So I feel pretty good about that, about being able to get that kind of traction in Q1 2025. Also, if we're just looking at this channel, I've had a really excellent streak of videos as I'm recording this. I just put out a video that had, again, 3 green indicators, really high AVD, CTR. My last 6 videos in a row on Page Turner have all been that way. Not a ton of huge breakout hits. I have had a few in there, but I'm starting to see some compounding growth on my back catalog. I'm starting to see YouTube chain it more. I'm starting to see a different shift happen with my channel, so I'm very pleased. Even though there hasn't been a viral thing, the overall channel health is looking a lot better. Like the floor on my releases have come up. I'm seeing a lot of really encouraging patterns that aren't reflected in this top level that are making me really happy. Also, and this is incredibly meaningful, I feel a lot less burnt out than I did in January. I have regained a lot of the creative joy. I'm hungry to make things again. I'm enjoying myself. I feel less of a grind and less of a pressure to get XYZ done. It's been a lot more meaningful and I've been a lot happier with my workflow, and I think that matters a lot. My work-life balance has been a lot better. I've been able to take better care of my home and my relationship with Justin. Like, y'all, I never want to complain about it because I am grateful to have the kind of life that I have, and I'm usually busy for good reasons. But between my various areas of business, YouTube is just one thing I do. I'm a small business owner. And between Justin's career, he has a high-powered, high-pressure career as a manager, and the fact that we just bought a house and we're fixing it up and getting it so that it's energy efficient and shored up and all of those things, like, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. And so I've been able to take a lot of the energy that I would have spent if I said, okay, I need to do 2 videos on Page Turner, a video a week on OMC, and 2 on Nerdonomic. I need to do 5 videos a week or else. Like, I would have been so miserable. So let's talk about why this worked, why I wasn't penalized as much as I could have been for cutting back. This only worked because my video performance per episode held up. My views per video stayed strong. My retention was actually up compared to back when I was posting more. And my click-through rates stayed solid. If my videos were worse, I would have been penalized for making fewer of them. And the other thing is that I was strategic about it. I didn't just disappear. I reallocated the time to both my other business ventures and my life outside of YouTube, but also to YouTube, where I was working hard on Nerdonomic and some other projects I have in the works. Yeah, I might start another channel, spoiler. And I did some continuing learning, went back, learned some new editing techniques, been reading some books from people who go to film school, basically trying to make sure that I'm devoting the time to growing as a filmmaker and an editor as well. So where are things now? Well, lately I've been posting twice a week again, here and there. And I'm actually considering doing it more regularly here on Page Turner. I've gotten in a groove with my editing. I have a home studio that's mostly set up now, although you'll see it change and evolve over the weeks. And I'm batching better than ever. But the difference is that now I'm not doing it to chase growth. I'm doing it because I genuinely have more to say, and I'm not burning myself out to do it. The key takeaway here isn't that less is always better, it's that alignment is better. Frequency should serve the creator and the content. And now that both are in a healthier place for me, posting more makes sense again. We always hear post more, hustle harder, stay consistent, but sometimes the best move is to slow down, get sharper, and let your best work do the lifting. Anyway, it's been great talking to you as always. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.